I'm Paul.
I'm Devin.
Together, we're Dads and Dice, two dads who like to play some games in our free time.
That's right, and today we are going to be playing the psychic espionage game, Mind Management, by Off the Page Games. Mind Management is a asymmetric kind of game of cat and mouse where one person will be doing hidden movements all secretly and the other person will be trying to figure out where they are before they can recruit all their agents or stall out and escape with enough time. So we're going to go get it set up. We'll see you in a minute. Okay, have everything set up here for Mind Management. Paul is going to be playing the deceptive recruiter, trying to go around and recruit all of the agents across town. While I am playing the rogue agents, I'm going to be trying to track his movement, see where he's been recruiting, check out the features he's been at, talk to the locals, and hopefully capture him in the end. So, I'll do a really quick rundown of basically how the game is played. We'll do a little brief setup thing here in a second, but right now the board is empty. But ultimately, we're going to kind of have a whole bunch of stuff out on the board. Something similar to layout like this here. During your turn, Paul will be a recruiter somewhere on the board that he is going to secretly keep track of on his player board there, right? And I won't be able to see. And every turn he is going to mark a number of where he is at on that turn or that time of day. So we're going to start with 1 o'clock in the morning and we're going to play to 1600 hours. I can do up to 2 actions with my people. So the first being moving. In the same case with me, I can only move orthogonally adjacent. There are these mayhem tokens that both myself and Paul's recruiter that I cannot see cannot pass. So we cannot go that. You have to kind of take the long way around. The next thing I can do is ask. On the place that I am at, I can ask about one of these features. And I think there's a total of 16 features. I believe, I don't know the number off the top of my head, I'm sure I could count. But there are 16 features. Mm-hmm. I can ask about one of these 2 features. There's always 2 in each square. So I could ask about the Faraday Mind Tree. If Paul has, from the start of the game, traveled through any of the Faraday Mind Trees, he will place one of these footprint tokens on that. And it does not have to be, if he had traveled through this one and also this one, he does not have to place a footprint here. He could place it here. It's up to Paul's discretion of which tree he reveals that he has been through. So that is the ask. The next thing I can do is, if I have an agent on one of those red footprints, I can ask to reveal. And when I reveal the footprint, Paul has to mark which time he was at that Faraday Mind Tree. And so he could mark on there that he was there at 4 o'clock, right? And so then I know if we are, on turn 9, that he was there 5 turns ago, right? It's just, again, a way of tracing the players through. The next action I can do comes to Paul's Immortals. So Paul's Immortals will, and I'll get into how his recruiting works here in a second, but Paul's Immortals function for 2 kind of purposes. The first being to help recruit agents. The second being, if they are in the share the same space as one of my agents, then they lock up the agent's movement or the agent's actions. The 2 actions that the rogue agents can take when they are with an immortal is they can take the move action to move away, or they can do a shakedown action. So I'm going to now step back into how Paul is recruiting his agents. At the very start of the game, Paul is going to get 3 features. So in this case, Paul would have the umbrellas, the monks, and the coffee shop. And those are places that Paul can recruit agents. So if Paul, throughout his hidden travel, goes across any of those spaces, he has to recruit from there. And as the game progresses and Paul gets to each of these red markers across here, he will put out agents showing how many agents he has recruited so far and at what times he did it. He doesn't have to tell where he recruited them, and I don't know exactly what features he recruited them at, but he will have to place those across the timeline. So where the immortals come into play is Paul is going to have some features that are visible that I know are not the ones that are his recruit spots. But if in this case it was, let's say, the gardens, if he ever gets 2 immortals, and he'll have a total of 4, if he gets 2 immortals on different of those features, he will then get to claim a recruit at that gardens, helping him get to that 12 recruits. So where shakedown comes into play is if whenever he has me there and all I can do is move, the other thing I can do is shake down, I can then pick one of these features here and ask Paul if that is one of his 3 hidden features. If it is, he then reveals that card and he can no longer recruit at that feature. If it's not, then I just know that's not one of his features he's after, and it's a small little piece of information that I gain. And the second part of that shakedown is I can then forcefully move his immortal. The last thing I can do is I can capture. And so let's say I am here at this spot. I have gathered all my information. I believe that Paul's recruiter is there. I can capture. I announce, the spot it's at. If it is, that is my one and only win condition to win the game. So what I will be going after and trying to do it before Paul hits his 12 recruits or it hits 1,600 hours. The last thing I guess I should go back and touch on mentioning is when we talk about movement, I mentioned that we can only move orthogonally adjacent with either my pieces or his hidden recruiter. The exception to that is these 2 temples you can always move diagonally into or out of. And that is really all there is to it. It really does play quite fast. We are going to do the actual initial setup, kind of the boring details of it real quick, and we'll be back here in just a second. Okay, we have it set up here. So Paul has done his first 5 steps of the game. So 1 through 5, where he started, he took 4 steps. He did recruiting. Paul, how many recruits have you gotten so far?
I have gotten 2 recruits so far.
2 recruits. So we're going to put 2 right here, just as a reminder of this is how many he has recruited so far into the game.
That's right.
We took turns placing the mayhem, the places we cannot cross. Paul placed his immortals, had to start on the inner field of the board. I placed my agents. They had to start on the outer field of the board. And then we now know where Paul's immortals are going to try and help him recruit. So again, if he can get 2 immortals on 2 different graffiti signs or lost dog signs, then he will automatically recruit one of his agents there. So he's already 2/12 of the way there, or at 1/6
of the way there. Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to be trying to do that. And I think that was everything we did. This is a special mind slip. If it comes into play, we will talk about it. If not, we probably won't.
And I have one actually here right behind this camera.
Yes, he has one he can.
Anytime.
Starting with, this is a bonus one that he can claim.
Yep.
And that's it. The recruiter starts the game, and we move on to 6 o'clock.
All right. So I will get to move one more time. And I'm going to go here. And that's real awkward. I know I look real awkward here. I'm trying to block Devin's view, but just got to write a number. Yeah. That's it. So, okay, I have moved.
Filming struggles.
So I've stepped, and now I get to move one of my immortals. And we know...
And again, the immortals are the only characters that can move diagonally.
That's right.
They can move adjacently, orthogonally, or diagonally.
So, again, we know that I need to go to the suggestive graffiti or the C4 canine assassination dogs, not lost dogs. So, let's see. Where are my things? That's on the tikis. We're going to go ahead and move this immortal down to here.
Okay.
Okay. And now it's on to Devin's turn.
On to me. So, one other little fact about the immortals, because it's probably going to come into play, is any feature that they are on, I cannot ask about at all. So, at the moment, I cannot ask about the bus, the pink car, the bird, the plant, so on. I cannot ask, regardless of whether I'm sharing their space and I could happen to be over here, I cannot ask about the tree. So that's just one little detail about the immortals. Let's see. I'm going to say... I'm going to move... I think I'm going to move Harry Lime.
Harry Lime.
Henry Lime.
Henry Lime.
Henry Lime.
His name is Harry now.
Yeah, Henry Lime.
And he is... he's yellow.
He is yellow. And I think all I'm going to do is go here. And we're going to shake down.
Shake me down.
So, I got no idea... at all where Paul is. I know he did not recruit from the dogs and the graffiti. We're going to take a shot in the dark and ask Paul,
Shake
or
me
ask
down.
the immortal, are you recruiting agents at the Thought Shield umbrella?
And this recruiter looks nervously. You are incorrect.
Okay.
Incorrect.
So, I have done my 2 moves with Harry Lime. And part of, I'll tell you, the reason I did that, I have to write my little note here so I don't forget, because I will 100% forget by the time we get there, is Harry Lime has an ongoing special ability where he blocks immortals from recruiting from adjacent locations. So here I can essentially stop Paul from recruiting, let's say, at this spot here. And the second part of Shakedown is I can force this immortal to move, and I'm going to move him right here.
Okay.
So that is my first. My second, I think I am going to move, and I did flip that, Meru here. And I'm going to shake down. And let's take a big ol' stabbing guess at the... looking at the board. What do we got?
Just take a stab in the dark.
The Dream Bus.
The Dream Bus. Barbie's Dream Bus. We are not at the Dream Buses.
Okay.
Not at the Dream
Buses.
Buses.
My 2 actions.
Okay. All right. So we get to move this up, right?
Yeah.
So here, and when it gets to a red section, we reveal how many people we recruited. So
after this movement.
After this move. Okay. After this movement. So we will go. We should be at 7 o'clock. And now I will reveal 2 people. 2 more recruits have joined. And we are now a third of the way done. Yes, 1/3 of the way done.
Yes, fractions.
And I move an immortal. And I move an immortal. This stupid mayhem. Here.
Okay.
So now you've got to use your other 2 people.
I am. So first up, I am going to move. I'm going to move Dusty here.
Okay. Old Dusty.
What are we on over here? Coffee and that. I don't have the best options over here with Dusty. We're going to move Dusty here. I am going to take Dusty's second action to ask about... I think you're not on any of these. Does not look like it. So on any of the suggested graffiti.
Okay, so you were asking if I've been there.
Yes.
And if I've been there, I have to put a step token, correct?
Yeah. If you've been to any.
To any.
Not
graffitis.
Yes, any graffitis.
Have I been to any graffitis? I have not been to any graffitis.
Okay.
So Devin's going to take his little... What are those? Mind slip tokens?
Yeah, they're...
I think they're mind slip tokens. No.
No, that's the mind slip.
That is the mind slip.
I can't remember the exact name for them. I'm going to put this here. They're markers that I can...
Reminder token.
They have a technical name, and I cannot think of what they are at the moment. But there's something I can put on there to know and help me keep up with things I've asked or movement. Okay, so that's the first one. That is Dusty's 2 actions. But he does have a free action that I can do, and I'm going to use, and it is going to be moving good old Bill here. So he can move agents one space plus 1 space for each recruiter's revealed feature. Don't have any revealed features, so at the moment just 1 space. And so that is everything Dusty can do there. So then I go with Bill. Bill, I'm going to move here for 1, and then I'm going to ask about, I believe torches are covered, so I have to ask about monks. I do, so I'm going to ask about monks.
So if I have been to any monks.
Yes.
I have. Here.
Okay. So I'm going to take another one of these guys here.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Sometime. Dang it. Less than equal to 7 o'clock. You were
at a monk. Ooh, look at that. Getting a little bit of information.
Yeah. So I know you have not been at this spot, but you've at least been to this spot. Right?
It's true.
So
it's true.
Not too bad. Okay. So I moved. I asked. The third thing I'm actually going to do is Bill Falls also has a free action. I can move an adjacent mortal 1 space orthogonally, and of course not through mayhem. And so I'm going to move this guy back right here. And that is that. So we've hit the end of the time block here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, really, I can get to flip all of these over so I can take any of them. And we are on to 8 o'clock with Paul.
All right, so we'll move up to 8 o'clock. And I will move to 8 o'clock. Where can I go? Let's go here. All right, and then I'll move my immortal. Let's move here. Yeah. Yep, we'll move right there. No, I'm sorry. We'll move right here. Yeah, there we go.
Where do I want to go now?
I'm just trying to get next to some dogs on some suggestive graffiti.
Yep, I'm sure you are. I think I'm going to move Bill Falls. Move Bill Falls. Am I going to move Bill Falls?
Are you going to move Bill Falls?
I think the first place I'm going to move actually is... I'm going to move Maru here.
Okay.
And I'm going to shake down again.
Gonna shake me down.
Shake you down. And so... And this is why I have to write things down, because I got to remember what I've
what you've already asked me about.
Previously guessed. I've guessed about umbrellas, and I've guessed about dream buses.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep that blue-ish theme going. Or do we guess monk? Maybe he recruited at this monk. I may actually guess monk. Would be a good piece of information. So I'm gonna guess. Are you recruiting at the observation monks?
Am I recruiting at the observation monks? Now, if I have one of these cards, I show it to you, correct?
Yes, sir.
Well, you have got one of mine.
All right, we shook them down.
Observation monks.
Yeah. So, it's a couple of things of information that's told, right? It means that I now know that that is one of the places Paul was recruiting. So, up until 8 o'clock, Paul was able to recruit at observation monks. From this point forward, any monk he goes through, he cannot recruit at.
Yep.
Okay, so...
got it. Good job.
Normally, we would keep those in view. Maybe we bring them over here.
Here, I can put them down here and just put them sideways.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
That works. And I am going to make myself another little reminder token that says less than or equal to 8 o'clock is when he was doing the monks.
Interesting. Okay.
So I did one action. I moved. I did a second. I shook down. The second part of shake down is moving the immortal. I am going to move... honestly, probably back to the spot she was on. Don't want her to get closer to these dogs or these dogs. So yeah, we're gonna move back there. Okay, that is that one. Next up,
this recruiter's getting a little timid. I'm gonna have to go into the shadows for a bit.
Next up. And now this is the tough spot. Do I keep attempting to shake down, making it harder for Paul to recruit, but gaining no real information about his movement? So I'm pretty confident that I have to move Bill Falls. So I'm going to move Bill Falls. And I'm going to move him here, and I think I am. I'm just going to shake down mostly for some continued immortal control. But actually, now that I think about this, I'm going to do my move. I'm going to do the free action of moving an adjacent immortal. This one here.
Okay.
And then I'm going to... no. That's a terrible spot. They're all terrible spots. Ooh. No, I'm going to shake down first. Excuse me. I'm going to shake down this immortal. And let's just guess. So I know you've been here, and I know you recruited monks. So you had to move in one of these spots, and you have recruited.
I have.
I know it's not umbrellas. I know it's not dream bus. I know it's not lost dogs.
There's also pools and tikis and fountains and gardens and billboards and books. There's all this stuff here.
I know. So let's think. Where did you come from?
Where did you go?
So I know you weren't in this space. Which means, how did you get here? And I think that you probably would not have decided to use a temple at the start of the game, coming this way or this way. So it leads me to believe you came from this way in some fashion, whether it was this,
bobbing and weaving all those mayhems.
So let's shake down for... My gut tells me billboards or coffee. Trees is a good guess. Did I guess trees? I didn't guess trees.
I have not guessed trees.
Oh, it's tough. You have to have touched something twice already. And it could have been the monks if you came from up here. Which means maybe trees are a bad guess. So I'm thinking, what if you came this way and fed in? It's tough. I'm going to guess Flux Coffee.
Okay. So that is your shakedown?
That's my shakedown.
Flux Coffee. That is correct.
Oh, it is.
You're getting some good guesses here.
Okay.
Getting some good guesses.
Flux Coffee. Okay, so no Paul, Flux Coffee. I've done. Oh, the second part of the shakedown is moving. The whole reason I did this, and I realized that I want to move here.
Okay.
That's tough. My shakedown is now significantly worse, right? Because I was going from a getting 3 out of, I think it's 14, and then every time it narrowed down. Now it's 1, right? So it's really almost not an action worth for me to take anymore because I'm just scatter shooting across. So I don't know that I want to necessarily put myself in a position that I have to shake down. I can't put him up here because that will give you a dog. If I put him here, you'll get an eye. If I come down here, I cannot put 2 immortals. So immortals can never occupy the same space, so I cannot put him over there, which is the prime real estate spot. I should have done this in a different order had I known that I was going to get my shakedown correct, because initially I was going to send him here and just shake down again. But I'm going to have to continue with that. So I'm going to do that action there. So I've done my shakedown. I did my move. I've done my shakedown. I'm going to do his free action to move him. I'm going to move him adjacent on me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to move him adjacent on me. And there's my 2 people.
All right. Good turn there. All right, so now we're doing 9 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and... here. Okay. And I had 1 recruit. Oh, sorry. I got to do my immortal first. Move here. Okay. 1 recruit.
Okay. Over to me. So let's see the information that I know here. I kind of hate revealing early, especially when I only have one step token.
Yeah.
I would be choosing to reveal this step here. I'm trying to think about... So my thought process right now is, which coffee shop has he hit? He's done at least one, because it would almost be impossible to have gotten 5 recruits without having done any coffee shops. This one I almost would completely rule out. It's not completely, but if he started there, it would be something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And I know he had to have been here by spot 7. It also makes it harder to say this one too, because that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So both of these would be a minimum of 6 movements for him to have gotten there. So I don't think he's past those. This one a bit straighter of a shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And
Can't
then
go
this
through
one,
mayhem.
you can't go through. Oh well, actually even closer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, something like that. I kind of don't think that is, because you would be cutting off a major middle part of the board. So it's really making me think that he's hit this coffee shop and come around, because I know he hasn't been in this spot, and that just helps rule out so much. Or I say I know he hadn't been in that spot prior to recruiting coffee.
Yes, keep thinking that. Keep thinking that.
I'm very certain of that. It's what the information tells me, because I know at 7 you weren't there, and you couldn't have gone there from a coffee spot at 8 o'clock, when I know you just couldn't have been at that spot prior to recruiting coffee. The only way would be you were at this spot at 7, and then you moved to this spot at 8, in which case you're now in one of these few spots here. And maybe that is the case. But I don't know. Let's see. So ultimately I'm asking myself, do I want to reveal and just know when you were at that spot, right? Mm-hmm. Were you at that spot an hour ago? Did you start the game at that spot? So what I think I'll do is I'll decide whether I'm going to do that after I do the first part of my turn. I think I'm going to move Henry Lime here. And I'm going to ask about the hallucinogenic torches.
The hallucinogenic torches. So if I have been to one, yes, and if I have, I put a step token on one of them.
Yes. And if you've been through more than one, we may not have mentioned this. If Paul had been through 3 at this point in the game, or 2, I should say, it's something more likely, he only has to put a step token on 1.
This one will go right here.
That's interesting.
Even more confusing?
So it either tells me you're there now. You're either in that spot right now. I could go for a capture.
You could.
It changes what I'm going to do for sure. So I have done my 2 actions with Henry Lime. I'm going to go to Dusty. The first thing I'm going to do with Dusty is his free move, just move Henry Lime back up here. And I should mention, I can now move a person 3 spaces with Dusty because of having 2 of these revealed. And now I am going to reveal, but instead of revealing this one, I'm going to reveal this one.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
This one?
Hang on, I haven't moved or done my stuff yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did you start the game there? You either started the game in that exact spot, or you're standing in that exact spot now. It is one of those two things, I know for sure. Because you were at this spot at less than 7. So if you started the game here, it would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This had to have been 7 or less. You also didn't cross this by 7. So if you were here at 7, this would have been 8, 9. So I think I just learned a lot of information from that space there. I am taking out of the fact, what if it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you could have gone that way. Either way, I'm going for it. Okay. I did this thing. I'm going to move here. I am going to reveal that step token.
All right, and we're going to do it off camera here. Build some suspense. And I'm going to tell you what time the recruiter was there. Ready?
7. So you started the game in the opposite spot that I thought.
I like that face. Where did I start?
So I think you started here and went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 9. I think you're probably somewhere over here. So let's think about what the information is telling us here. And less than 7, you had to have been here. And at 7, you were here. And you did not go through this space by 7. So how did you get around there? It was either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I think that's... I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure that that's a 1 or a 2. You were in this spot. Okay. I think that's all that I know right now.
Okay. Is that both your moves?
Yeah. Right. I
moved.
I did that, and I did his free of moving here.
And you revealed.
Yes.
You finished all your moves. I get to reveal right now. No, I already revealed.
Yeah.
We're moving to 10 o'clock. I will make a movement. I'm really kind of thinking what to do here. Devin's on my trail. He's 3 hours behind. He knows where I'm at.
2 hours behind. You're
2 hours ago.
You're getting to move first here.
2 hours ago. He knows where I'm at. All right. We have done that. And then this immortal, I was actually just going to move there. So that's not adjacent to Henry Lime. So I do get to recruit from the suggestive graffiti. Does this stay out?
It doesn't need to, because this will signify where you have gotten it.
Tiki bar.
Tiki.
So I'm at halfway.
Halfway. Okay. Where are the tiki bars? 1, 2, 3, 4. Should be a 5th one. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Is there 5 of them? 1. You were making fun of me for counting
2.
earlier, too. 3. 4. It says visit all 5 locations. People are laughing at us right now. They see it.
I can't find it. No. I can't find it.
1. 2. 3. 4. 5. This is this one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
There we go.
Okay. You've done your movement. You've recruited.
Yep.
You're halfway there.
Halfway there.
Whoa. Halfway there.
And I've got how much time left? 6 hours left.
Okay. I am going to... I want to ask about... I know what I want to ask about. I have to figure out how can I ask about the thing I want to ask about. Make sense?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to move with Bill Falls. And I'm going to move... I'm going to move this. I'm going to detect weakness. That's what it's called.
Detect weakness.
I'm going to move this immortal here. And then I'm actually going to move with Bill Falls here. I don't know anything about billboards. Billboards would tell me if you've for sure been here. That would solve a lot of this piece of the puzzle. Whereas I was going to ask about birds, see if you had maybe gone up here. But I think instead I am going to ask about billboards.
Okay. Asking about billboards. There's a step. And that step is...
Interesting. So that makes that more likely to be a 2. We are on what time? 10 o'clock?
We're at 10 o'clock.
8, 9, 10. Yeah, you couldn't have been there after 7. So you had to have been there before 7.
What you got, Mr. Bill Falls?
So I asked, I detected weakness. I think I'm going to move. I have to think real quick. I gotta double check what I'm thinking. So that eliminates going around, I think, this way. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that would be the only way that was possible. So 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So I think you had to have gone around there. Makes me very curious if I'm missing something, because why would you have not grabbed this unless you just didn't think you would need it? I'm trying to make sure I'm 100% correct. If you were here, you need to get there. 7, 6, 5, 3. I don't see another way of that not being 2 o'clock. I don't. I don't.
It's got to be 2 o'clock.
I'm going to put that's approximately 3 o'clock, I think. It's my little guess sign. It's guaranteed to have been less than 10 o'clock. I think it was 3.
3 o'clock.
I sure hope I'm not missing something in the game.
I don't know. Could be.
So if you're going the route you're going, that I think, that forces you that way. I'm just going to move there.
Okay. That's his too?
Yeah. It's my second move. And this is where I was debating, do I let you get dogs? Because you can move this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I can shake down, which doesn't really help me at this point in the game. I don't really care.
What my third thing is?
Yeah.
I'm not going to win by recruiting at that thing.
Unless
I haven't. No. Even if I haven't gotten any of them.
Well, no. You may still, but it's not... Most likely I'm going to miss.
Yeah.
Is really true. What it is. So it doesn't really gain me much more beneficial information. However, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I might still shake down. Just because I have 2 actions, and I don't want to move from this spot.
Okay.
And so I can shake down and I can ask. So we're going to do that. We will shake down. It's just not super important at this point. I've asked about umbrellas. I've asked about Dream Bus.
My chase is on.
I could go over features that you know. What made you take the route you took? I should think about that. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. What would make you take that route? To get that coffee shop is one of the reasons. Then you would maybe be heading up to this coffee shop. What was the other thing? Monks. But you would have been able to dip in and get those monks. I'm just going to guess something in there. Guess bus. Guess umbrella. Let's guess books.
Books.
Bookstore.
All right, we're shaking down for books. No, not books. Not books.
Not bookstore. Okay. Second part of the shakedown, I'm going to move this guy. Get those dogs. Let's put him just up here. Yeah, let's just put him up there.
Okay.
Go for torches, but can't stop them all. Then the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask about the Dream Bus, because I'm pretty sure nobody's on one. Yeah. And you are on a car, so I can only ask about the Dream Bus.
I have.
Okay. Slightly confirms my route. So again, I think you were there at 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think you could have been 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Could have also been that way. So I'm gonna say you were there at. So that actually could be 2 or 3. I'm gonna change my marker there. 2 or 3 here, which puts you 3, 4. So 4 or 5. I think it's more likely 5. I'll put approximately 5. No. I'm sorry. You were definitely there at 5 o'clock.
Definitely there at 5 o'clock.
I'm pretty confident of that. That's what I'm going to say. I should put, I guessed it at 10. In case I'm all screwed up. I don't think I am. But I need to do that just to be safe. But I'm
Fairly sure.
I mean, you were here at 7.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So I did 2 things here. I shook down and I asked.
Okay. All right, on to me. Wow. What am I doing? So this is 11.
Mm-hmm. While you're thinking, I realize these 2 are next to each other. Can just share one token that are both saying the same thing.
There's one thing that I want to do that I know if I can do it, I'm good. Maybe I'm just going to play mind games with you.
I could be missing some
could be
crucial
missing.
piece of something. I have said that I guarantee you're here at 5. I could be completely wrong.
Could be.
I'm doubt. Like, I have this like doubt in myself. Like, am I missing a rule? And like, is there? Am I not seeing a way of that being possible?
All right. So I moved here.
Mm-hmm.
It is 11.
Yeah.
And I reveal recruits if I had any. And we had 1.
Okay.
And I move an immortal. These dogs are the death of me. So we will move an immortal. I need to get close to some tikis. I'll move here.
Okay. Alright, I have to use one of those 2 guys. I think I'm going to ask. I'm going to start with Maru.
Maru?
The feature I really want to ask about is billboards with this guy. But this is like...
He's right there.
I put this guy here, and it's jamming me up. So I think instead I'm going to ask with Maru over here about trees.
Right.
Okay. Then I think you are there. 8, 9, 10, 11. Unless I'm just so wrong about this portion here. I think I'm going to capture.
Okay.
I'm going to capture.
You're going to capture. All right. So if I am there, I announce
Yeah,
that I'm there. If I'm not there, we continue playing.
that's right.
So we are going to end the game. That's where I'm at. That was the risk that I took right there at the end. I was hoping to make it one more turn, and then I was going to use my mind split. Yeah. 100% correct. Yeah.
I thought it had to be.
100% correct.
It was the knowing you were not at this spot, but you were at this spot and this spot,
yep.
And then these mayhem.
Yep.
These mayhem made it where there was a tight window you could get to those spots.
So this is my map right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I was going to make it through my 1 over here and end up back on this side of the map, and I knew that would have thrown you off.
Yeah.
That would have completely thrown you off.
So was your mind slip the straight guy?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
I was going to go through 1 to right here.
If you had mind slipped You're absolutely right.
So then my other option was, do I mind slip right now? I'm at 10. Do I mind slip through this one, but then I don't get the recruit? Should have probably done that. I wasn't going to win with recruits anyway. I probably should have done that. But
honestly, I think your play was better. I'll tell you why. I was narrowing you down to forcing you to go this way, right?
Yep.
If you had mind slipped, right, because at this point you were at 10.
Yep.
If you had mind slipped here, you didn't have many options.
Yep.
Because
I wanted to mind slip, but I couldn't here
correct,
because I'd been to 2.
So, and that's what I would have been able to deduce, right? If you were this guy and you mind slip from this, you literally only have one spot you can mind slip to. Because you can't go there, you'd already been there, and you can't go off the board, right? If you're the other person, same kind of case. You cannot go there. You could not go there because you did go through that, right? So you would have ended up over here, right? So I would have then been able to kind of deduce that I still would have been, and that would have sent you very close to guys.
To the guys, exactly. So that was my whole thing was Maru is here, right? So if I go right where she's at, either you're going to capture me, or I'm going to get over here, and then I know you would be just completely lost because all of that is already used.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my play. Do I do it? Do I risk it? Didn't make it.
Oh, that was man.
That was awesome. That was good.
Yeah.
That was real good.
That was that was mind management. I think it's kind of a fun little game. It's very different than all the videos, and I don't know. Playing it is different than I'd seen it. Right? I had heard reviews. I had watched playthroughs. Right? But until I actually played it myself, I didn't quite grasp what it was.
Yeah.
And in full disclosure, Paul and I have only played a few times, right?
And mainly solo.
Yes, and most of that has been solo for us to get a feel for the game. We have not got to start opening, what do they call them?
The shift packages.
Shift packs. So how it typically works, it's kind of a campaign like Legacy of You style, where Paul lost this one. He gets to open up a shift pack, which then is going to be, we don't actually know.
It's other.
We assume it's additional something to do. Maybe
potential recruiters.
Maybe a rule change.
Recruiters.
I don't honestly quite know what it is, but everything I understand is it's what helps balance the game out, right? You can play with the same person over and over, and it be the engulf a handicap of keeping you guys even. So I'm interested to start trying that, but it's a neat deduction game.
This is honestly kind of a rare win for the agents. That doesn't happen very often with the base game that we just played. Like Devin was saying, that kind of adds in with the shift packages later, but most of the time, the recruiter has all the information. They're able to do basically whatever they want. It's kind of just you said it a couple of times. I'm just taking a shot in the dark here, and you got honestly, pretty good with a couple of them.
I got lucky in my ask. My first 3 asks are what gave me the most crucial pieces of information the whole game. Yep. It gave me a spot you were not, right next to a spot you were, and then that spot across from it being my third ask was like,
oh, he went around this somehow.
There's only a finite way that this can go. I know it's one of these two, and then with my next few asks, it let me then know for sure which route he was on and where he was headed.
Yep.
A lot of times that's not always the case. You get quite a few misses before you start getting right, and so it lets you know where they're not. Oh, they haven't been through, and not knowing is a good thing, right? Not knowing they haven't been through any purple in the first 7 turns of the game, in the first 8 turns of the game. That's big information, but it just happened that this time the very first 3 pieces lined up so well.
Yeah. So anyway, that was mind management. We're definitely excited to get more in depth in this game. But yeah, as always, please like, comment, subscribe. All that stuff really does help us. It helps us grow. That's it.
Yep. We'll see you on the next one. It was like when the other person was talking is when
they're looking at the camera.
The camera, right? But when they were talking, and I was like, I feel fine. I'm doing that exact same thing. Okay, like if they are, who cares?